The Florida condo market is in free fall. Prices are plummeting.
Well, there is growing concern tonight that South Florida's condo market could be headed for a crash.
What is causing this, and how can you safely navigate purchasing one of these condos or a home in Florida without getting burned? As of November 2024, the average price of a condo in Florida is $311,000, which is down 6% year over year. Since July of 2024, there has been an increase in the number of units for sale, growing from a 4-month supply last year to an 8-month supply this year. There are no buyers. The fact that there are no buyers and the surplus is growing leads to decreased prices and people significantly discounting the price of their condos. Now, why is all of this happening? Well, you can blame it all on the Surfside condo collapse in Miami in 2021, where 98 people were killed.
After the deadly Florida condominium collapse in Surfside back in 2021, state lawmakers required condos that are at least 30 years old to do inspections, make repairs, and gather reserve funds for future repairs.
It was found that that particular condo complex had significant structural issues that had been noted, but nobody did anything about. They had a reserve fund for repairs of about $611,000. They needed about $10 million to actually repair it, and the HOA continually kicked the can down the block, and the HOA just kind of deferred the maintenance, didn't ask the homeowners for any money to replenish the funds to do the repairs, and you had this tragedy.
We do obviously need to identify why this happened. This is going to be something that's important. It is something that's going to be very thorough, and it is something that is not going to happen.
These structural issues are caused by the Florida environment, being right by the salt water. Salt water will destroy anything. The heat, the sand, you name it. Florida has all kinds of weather, hurricanes. These structural issues are all over the place, not just Surfside. And most of the HOAs down in Florida have been neglecting their repairs. They don't have enough money, they neglect the repairs, and nobody who owns the condos wants to pay up. So Florida has passed the law, the Surfside law, which is requiring any building 3 stories and over, 30 years old, to be inspected by an engineer and an architect, looking visually at it to see if there are any issues. This is a mandatory inspection that every HOA must undergo. If there are any visible structural issues, then they have to go to a phase 2 investigation, and any repairs that have to be done has to be done by the HOA. What I've heard is that HOAs can ask for replenishment for the building fund. You have to pay it. If you don't pay it, the HOA can foreclose on you. They can ask you $20,000, $50,000, $100,000, $200,000. Some HOAs have been asking homeowners for $250,000.
They were recently hit with a special assessment. The total assessment for the apartment we're sitting in is what?
Approximately $224,000.
When you say that number, can you believe it?
No, not at all.
That's on top of their monthly maintenance that's gone from $1,500 to $3,000.
Most of the people are on fixed incomes, or they're regular guys just going to work, making a living, and they can't afford it. They're either going to have to go into their savings and deplete their savings, or they're going to have to borrow money and go into debt, or, as many people are doing, they are trying to unload their units. They want out. And like I said before, there are no buyers. So prices are coming down, and you're having people getting panicked. Homeowners are lowering their prices hoping to entice investors. There are also vultures, investor vultures that are circling around a lot of these buildings hoping to purchase the entire building, knock them down, especially if they have a great location right on the ocean, and build brand new, gorgeous condos.
Some owners are hoping to sell, others are walking away already, and still others are looking to investors to bail them out.
So that is what's happening right now. Things are not improving and they're not looking to improve for years to come. So if you're a buyer, how do you protect yourself? Well, first of all, this law mandated that by December 31st, 2024, all buildings had to undergo this initial inspection. After that, if there was a further inspection necessary, they would have to have a further inspection. There's going to be all kinds of reports on all of these condominiums. You're going to have to get your hand on these reports, trying to see how good each particular condo is. See if there's going to be a huge assessment. If there's a huge assessment, make sure that you get a low price for it so that you can afford the assessment. You kind of bake it into purchasing it. Or you wait to see and find out which condos are in great shape, then you can go in there and safely purchase one of those condos. But I would wait. It's now February. I would wait 2, 3, 4 months until all those reports are out before going to buy one of those condos. Now this only applies for condos that are 3 stories and above and 30 years old or older. If it's closer to the ocean, if it's within 3 miles of the ocean, then the building has to be inspected at the age of 25. So as you can see, there is a big crisis going on with the condos in Florida. None of this was done to harm anybody. It's not an added tax. It's just so that we can prevent another tragedy. But the bottom line is if there's not enough money in the reserve fund, the HOAs are going to come to the homeowner, to the condo owner, ask them for the money, and a lot of people cannot afford the big bucks. It's a huge, huge problem. No buyer is going to go in there willy-nilly and just buy a condo without having all this information. People are struggling to get rid of their condos, and it keeps on going. As one person sells one for lower, the next one goes for even lower, and then even lower. So it's just a cycle of lowering of prices. The Surfside law is affecting over 1 million condo units. 70% of all these condos are located either in Miami-Dade County or in Broward County, which is the Fort Lauderdale area. That's 70% of the condos that come under this 30-year law are in those 2 counties. It's potentially devastating to the condo market. Florida remains a very desirable place to live for many, many people. There's been a large outflow of people, about 500,000 moving out of Florida last year, but you had 700,000 people move into Florida. So Florida is a very desirable place for some people to live, but this is going to be an ongoing crisis with all of these condos. As a prudent buyer, you need to make an informed decision to safeguard your money. If you're relocating anywhere in the country, if you're moving to Florida, from Florida, to Charlotte, from Charlotte, my name is Eli Magids, and I have a network of real estate professionals that can help you do the move quickly and safely. Feel free to fill out the form below on the link, and I can refer you to somebody who is awesome. Thank you for watching, and until we see each other again,